Be sure to pick up your limited edition StL Rampardos t-shirts today. Available as V-neck, a number of different colors, and male and female. Check them out in the description below. Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. You guys, week 13 of the UCL. StL Rampardos taking on the Grand Canyon Greninjas and Twit. And I'm really excited for this matchup. He's got an amazing team, as you can see on the screen, what I'm predicting him to bring. I'm not quite sure. He's got some pretty interesting cards he can kind of play. But before we jump into that, we have a question of the day. If you could build your UCL team around any Pokemon, dude, leave me alone, kid. I don't want to battle you. He sent me like 20 requests. You could build your UCL team around any Pokemon. What Pokemon would you choose? Would you jump on my bandwagon and go zDrive? Would you pick something else? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you could, show your love on that like button as well. Let's see if we can power our way up to 1,500 likes like Game Boy Luke always says. This kid seriously needs to leave me alone. And that's that. So anyway, limited edition StL Rampardos t-shirts are still available, as you probably saw from the little intro thing. So if you want to grab those, they're available for I think like one more day. So definitely grab them. Otherwise, the limited edition patch will be gone and the price will go up a couple bucks as well. So keep that in mind if you want to grab one. Today is your day. And last but not least, do not forget to check out the pre-game press conference if you want to hear about my team, why I'm bringing the Pokemon I'm bringing and all that good stuff. But luckily for me, my fiance's got a Lillipup under control tonight, so I don't have to watch the puppy right now, and I can battle, and I can actually be focused, and I don't have to worry about pee on the carpet. So if you saw last week's battle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was quite hectic. But I think we're ready to rock and roll here, so I'll do a quick cut until Twit is ready to go, and we'll see how things go. Cool. Alright guys, so me and Twit have just connected, and I'm really excited for this matchup. I really like the part where the team reveal happens. We actually connected before, but we had to reconnect. So everything looks good. I don't know what his team is, though. He doesn't know what mine is, so we're going to find out here in just a moment. And I'm really excited for this part. I always love the team reveal. I think I said it before, but the gears just start spinning once you see the team, and you start to get really hyped about it. I didn't bring a Stealth Rocker this week again, so my dedicated lead, I don't really have one. It's going to be based on his matchup. But I do think he's going to bring something close to the team over there. He might try to mix it up a little bit, but I definitely see the Altaria, the Rotom Wash, that kind of stuff. I'd be really surprised if he didn't bring the King, the Nidoking. I think Kong could probably take a few hits, knock off, maybe Ice Punch it back, so hopefully I can take some hits there. You know, and if I get poisoned, that'll just give us, you know, more damage. So we'll see what he's gonna bring here. And the team reveal, what do you got for me, Twit? Alright, Hariyama instead of Escavalier. And I think everything else I nailed, right? Is that correct? Mandibuzz, no Empoleon, that's fine. Hariyama. Okay, I think I got everything pretty much right on. Hariyama as well. Potential leads, he could lead with Hariyama. He might be running like a Guts variant. Let me just make a note here. He's got Rotom, Altaria, Nido, Mandibuzz, Alakazam, and Hariyama. So, potential leads on his end. Could be leading with the Nido to get his rocks up. That wouldn't be a terrible play. Hariyama's not a bad play either. I kind of like my lead as Vaporeon, even if the only thing Vaporeon doesn't like on his team really is the Rotom. And if he leads with Rotom, I can protect to scout his move. If he's got like Toxic or something, I can kind of scout for that. Crobat's also a pretty good Pokemon to lead with because I outspeed things. I would have to worry about Rotom if he leads with it, but I think I like Crobat lead, so let's do that. Crobat can U-turn on the Nido. I could taunt the Nido as well. I don't want to take an Ice Beam. Let's go with our first cut here. Let's go with Vaporeon. If he leads with Rotom, I could just protect against it. If he leads with Hariyama, I can protect against it. If he leads with Nido, he's gonna want to get the heck out of there. So let's lead with Vaporeon and see what Twit's gonna do here. I do think Vape's my best lead though. I'm running Wish Protect instead of Baton Pass, but I do think I have the best lead. It allows me to stop his Altaria if he tries to start with it. It allows me to handle, like I said, Hariyama. I could take that. I have to worry about burning him, but I could probably take a couple hits. I have Crobat as well to switch into Hariyama if I have to. He'll be fearing the Brave Bird. I can take on Alakazam even if he's got Energy Ball, so I think this is my best play. If he does with the Rotom again, I'll just protect as kind of scout. He's going to leave with Hariyama, so he might just go for Fake Out here, which is fine with me. I'm just going to go for Protect, kind of see what he wants to do. I lose nothing by going for Protect here, so that's my play. I'm going to go for Protect. He clicks Fake Out, it's totally fine. I could have led with Crobat and put some more pressure on him, go for a U-turn. That would have been nice, that was my initial thought, but Crobat didn't really match up against King very much, because he could have just Ice Beamed me, and then I would have been the one switching. So I'd rather do that. I really could just go for a Scald, and try to catch something on the Scald, but I have a feeling the Fake Out is the play he's going to go for if he has it. It'll allow me to scout for it, and I don't want to take any more damage than I need to. especially this early in the match. So I think my safe play is just protect here, as I'm going to try to get hydrated. So he's taking a long time to think about this move. He might actually try to switch, but he's probably thinking about what's my switch for a Scald. He might go into Rotom. I should have probably thought about that a little bit more. I just went for the Scald, but because that fake out damage probably wouldn't do too much. But I also don't want to take a knockoff either. And I kind of want to see if he's got an orb as well that gets activated. That'll tell me a little bit about this Hariyama, whether he's you know, Guts or Thick Fat or something. Although Guts would be kind of weird. Still good knowledge either way. So Hariyama's got really big HP, not the best defense, is pretty good attack stat. It's a good Pokemon. It's a really good Pokemon. In fact, it's a lot better than I think people think it is. So we'll see what he's going to go for here. I'll get my Protect up, and he is going to go for the knockoff. So he does show the knockoff right away. Not too surprised to see that. No item on his end, so knockoff it is. That's totally fine with me. Now I can scout here and try to find out what kind of set he is. If I lose an item on this thing, not something I really want to do, but I think this is the Pokemon that if I want to lose an item on, it's the best. Or I'd go into Crobat here, which actually is probably my best play because I doubt he's going to predict that. He might just go for the knockoff. I'm going to go to Crobat. If he goes for the Ice Punch, touche. So let's do that. Let's go to Crobat. If he's going to take the knockoff, he'll get rid of my Rocky Helmet. I'll scare him out with Brave Bird, and I can just U-turn. So I think that's my play. So I'm just going to swap out into Crobat here. I did see the knockoff. Didn't see an item on Hariyama. I don't know too much about it other than it's fake out. Might have Bullet Punch, Close Combat, EQ, something like that. Maybe one of the Elemental Punches. But having fake out means he probably only has one of the punches, so he might not have Ice Punch. Maybe he does have Ice Punch, but we'll find out. We'll find out. If he predicts this switch here, just a good play. I mean, I'm going to play safe to start. I don't want to make risky plays right now, and I don't want to take a knockoff on Vaporeon yet. So let's see what he's going to do here. If he goes for knockoff, that's perfect. If he goes for close combat, that's even better. He goes for the knockoff, so I go from 191 down to 134. He takes Rocky Helmet damage. Totally fine. And that didn't do too much. So let me just kind of take a quick look here at this Hariyama really quick. He could be AV, but I'm going to pressure him out with a Brave Bird anyway. Because I'm going to just calc the Brave Bird just to see. I don't have Brave Bird, but yeah, Brave Bird does kill. So there's really no reason for him to stay in here. Knockoff would do about 25%. Looks about right. So that seems like just a standard adamant Hariyama. So my play here is just a U-turn. I could Poison Fang as well, but his switch right now is probably... What's his switch? Because he's not going to stay in. He doesn't want to take a Brave Bird. So what's his Brave Bird check? Rotom Wash probably. So what do I switch into if Rotom comes in? Probably Conk. And then Drain Punch or Knockoff, I would think. Conk Elder versus Rotom. Let's say he's like physically defensive. Yeah, I eat up those hits. So let's just go for the U-turn, predicting him to switch. I think that's the play. He's still taking his time too, so that's fine. We got a little chip damage on him. He's at like 90%. And I don't know his item yet, but I'm thinking it could be AV. So U-turn's my play here. If he stays in, that's totally fine. I'll just go to Vape, I guess. He's not going to double knock off. That wouldn't make sense. Ice Punch doesn't make sense. There's really no reason for him to stay in with Hariyama here. His play is to go to Rotom Wash. If he stays in with Hariyama, he loses a Pokemon. In his mind. He doesn't know I don't have Brave Bird. I actually don't have Brave Bird, so... He might be fearing my U-turn, but I play very safe early game, so he is going to switch. Perfect. That's really good for me. Probably in a Rotom Wash. He goes into Mana Buzz. That's totally fine. That gives me a really good opportunity to just go straight into Raikou. If I decide. I like the Raikou switch here. I get a crit. That does nothing, but it's fine. I like the Raikou switch in. I put in a lot of pressure on him, and I actually can probably knock him out with a Thunderbolt. No, but I could do a tremendous amount. Now, Nidoking is the switch-in for him, and I'm a little bit worried about him predicting that, the Thunderbolt, and going into Nidoking. Exosentry does almost kill Nidoking. Let me think here. I can't go into a zDrive. I cannot do that. Hercules is an okay play, but I don't want to take a Brave Bird. Oxygen's an okay play to go for the Scald Burn, actually. In fact, that's not a terrible play at all. I don't want to take a Toxic, though. I do think Sabertooth is my best play for momentum purposes. It's just going to be a tough decision whether I want to play that prediction game of going for the T-Bolt to the Volt Switch and having him go into Nidoking. So here's where the over-predictions and the predictions come into play here. Alright, he's got lefties on Mandibuzz as well, so good to know. Wouldn't be surprised if he had anything else anyway. Leftovers. I should be able to do a tremendous amount to this thing. Again, I could predict the switch here and go for... Actually, you know what we do? Let's check this. Let's hit the middle ground here. Nidoking takes a lot from HP Ice. Mana Buzz does not want to take an HP Ice either. So I do think our play here is HP Ice, HP Ice. It does about 30%. That's the play. Let's go for it. It's HP Ice. If he goes into Nidoking, that's kind of like our middle ground. So we'll see what he's going to do. The aggressive play is Thunderbolt, but getting some damage off on the King would be nice because that'll allow Bullet Punch to kill later. Especially if he's Scarf. If he's Scarf King, that'd be a problem. Let me actually calc, see if I can live a hit from Nidoking if he is Scarf. Just if he's Scarf, though. If I take off his Life Orb, can I live in Earth Power? I definitely can. Looks like it only does about 60%, 65% max. So I'm pretty safe here to it's HP Ice. That'll weaken the Mana Buzz. Mana Buzz really can't do much to me aside from Toxic. And I'm forcing him to switch here. So if he goes into Altaria, I hit it super effective. 4 times super effective. If he goes into Rotom, that's fine. I Volt Switch out on Rotom. I don't care about that. And Rotom doesn't want to take a T-Bolt either. Mana Buzz doesn't want to take a T-Bolt. His play here is Nidoking, but again, same kind of situation. He goes into Nidoking, HP Ice hits it, does about 50%. And if he's Scarfed, I could take a hit, and I'll take that chance if he's Scarfed. I will risk it for the biscuit on that one to get rid of King, because King is very scary. I had Nidoqueen in GBA last season, and while it didn't, you know, pick up like, 20 kills or anything like that, it did a lot of work. So we'll see if he goes into that King. He's gonna go to Hariyama, so actually an interesting play. He's gonna be able to eat this up, no problem. It's not going to do too much to him. It would have been nice if I had the Volt Switch, but I do reveal the HP Ice. That's probably thick fat. My play here is to Volt Switch. He could Fake Out. I don't care about the Fake Out. I just want to go for the Volt Switch. I do have Extra Sensory, but I think he's Assault Vest based on that damage, so my play is to Volt Switch here. If he goes for Fake Out, then that just reveals another move. He might not even have Fake Out, though, based on the fact that he went for Knockoff and things like that, so... Let's see here. Yeah, I think my play is just Volt Switch. Just get the heck out of here. If he goes to King, I'll take my chances with an Extra Sensory. I don't think he's Scarf King. He could be, though. He could be Scarf King, but Scarf King loses so much power that it needs that it otherwise have with that Life Orb. That Life Orb makes it so much better. So that's why Scarf King and Scarf Queen are good, but they're not amazing. They're great for, like, Pokemon that are already whittled down. If you have, like, Entry Hazard stack, if you're running a ton of Spikes and Rocks and things like that, they're amazing. They're amazing because of that, but otherwise they're not that great. So I wonder if he even brought Rocks. He hasn't sent out King yet. This would be a good opportunity for him. He doesn't know what set I'm running. I'm gonna reveal that I'm not Scarfed here or Specs by just going for the Volt Switch. I really don't care. I kind of want to see how much it's gonna do. I do think he's AB though, and I don't think he has Fake Out because he would have done it by now. He would have clicked Fake Out by now. Yeah, it should be about 20%. My play is to go into Crobat, take the knockoff. He's gonna knock over a priority move, so I'm just gonna Volt Switch here. Does about 20%. That's definitely Assault Vest. There's really no doubt in my mind at this point. So yeah, a little predictable, but I'm gonna go into Crobat here because I do think I could take an Ice Punch from this thing. Let me just do a quick calc here. If he has Ice Punch, which he probably does, it does about 50 to 60%. I'm over that, so I could Roost off the damage and then I'm neutral. So I get rid of my Flying type. If he goes for knockoff, then that's fine because I don't even have an item anymore. He's gonna go for the knockoff again, so that's perfect. He just shows me knockoff twice now. I'm sitting at about half now. This is a great opportunity for me to Roost, to see what he's gonna do. I could just Roost and I could taunt the Mana Buzz. So I think our play here is to Roost. Mana Buzz was his check for Crobat last time. So I'm gonna Roost here and Scout and see if he has Ice Punch, because then I can at least take a neutral, and then I'll U-turn out the next turn. This is a defensive, kind of bulky bat. He probably thinks, again, I have the Brave Bird. Last time I predicted, and I went for a U-turn. In his mind, I have Brave Bird. Every Crobat runs Brave Bird. I don't. Not this week. But I'm kind of curious, because if I can land a Poison Fang on that Mana Buzz and Toxicate and then taunt it, that's kind of what this Crobat was designed to do, to kind of handle that Mana Buzz and poison it with a Poison Fang. Which, again, I know Poison Fang's kind of weird. Cross Poison does more damage, but I really like that 50% chance to Toxic. I think that's good for switch-ins. If I Toxic like a Hariyama, if I Toxic the Rotom, or the Mana Buzz, obviously, is the biggest one. That could be very useful. So, worst case scenario here, I mean, we're going to live any hit, so I'm going to get back to close to full here, and if he hits with an Ice Punch, at least I know what he's doing. I can U-turn out and then go into, like, Vape or something, or even Conk if I wanted to. I just don't want to take a knockoff with anything. I'm trying to save my items this early on, because I have a lot of offensive pressure right now that I'm putting on him. So there's really no reason for me to do anything too crazy here. So he's taking a lot of time to think about his moves, which is fine. I'm not gonna like overthink anything right now. I'm just gonna click the button and go. You know, I feel really good about where I'm at. So he's actually gonna switch. He might go back into that Mana Buzz, which is be optimal. So he does go back into Mana Buzz. So Mana Buzz is his check. That's his answer for this thing. Now the thing is I don't really know what Mana Buzz can do to me, to be perfectly honest. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know when the last time I faced Mana Buzz actually was in like a competitive setting. So I know it gets Roost, you know, I know it gets Knockoff, Taunt, Defog, Toxic, Roost, Foul Play, Brave Bird. I mean, that's really all it gets. It doesn't get like T-Wave or anything. So it gets U-Turn, Whirlwind, that kind of stuff. So there's really no reason for me not to just go for the Poison Fang here and try to get a poison on something. He still hasn't seen all my moves yet, and I don't know if I want to go for that taunt just yet. I think I'm gonna Poison Fang and then U-Turn out. Give him the ability to Roost if he wants. But to me, it's worth kind of scouting. He might actually go into King here. If he wants to predict my switch into Raikou, he could definitely do that. U-Turn might be a good play, but I do think the Poison Fang's okay. I mean, I already chose the move, so it doesn't really matter. But I should make a note that the Hariyama is about 60%. It's got Knockoff. That's the only move I've seen is Knockoff. Lots of switching. You've seen a couple of my moves. But he doesn't know what my second or my third and fourth move are yet. He's only seen U-Turn and Roost. So I really hope he stays in here. I would love to get a Poison Fang off and get a Toxic on him. That would be very, very helpful to me. I don't know if it makes sense to use that taunt right away. He has no way to remove the damage or like he doesn't have Heal Bell or anything. So he's gonna stay in. So I need a 50% poison chance here. That would be wonderful. And no, he doesn't. He actually predicts the switch, goes for Toxic. That's fine with me. He gets a little bit of leftovers recovery here. Luckily for me, I did not switch. The Toxic doesn't do anything. I'm going to play this game again. Let's play Poison Fang here. If he wants to go into King, that's fine with me. I do have Conk, which can come in and knock off. I have Vaporeon, which plays, like, you know, guessing games. I have a couple different answers. U-Turn might have been the play for momentum here now that he knows what I'm trying to do. But the thing is he can't come into a Brave Bird with Nidoking. He can't. So that Toxic would have been really nice. So all I saw so far on this thing was Toxic on Mana Buzz, which is fine. So I got Defog, Roost, and then maybe Foul Play. Foul Play would make sense for Metagross. Foul Play would make sense. So let's see. His only switch in here, if he doesn't want to get poisoned, is the King. But King doesn't want to take a Brave Bird. Like, it really doesn't. Does not want to take a Brave Bird. He can't go into Altaria. Can't go into Alakazam. He could go into Hariyama, but we've already seen that that's not a good check for him. It looks like he wants to battle this out. So, second one gets the Poison Baby. That's the one we needed. He is going to go for what? A Foul Play? Okay, I can eat that up, no problem. I'm not actually attack invested, so it's not really going to do too much. You can see right there. So, Toxic, and he went for Foul Play. So, I'm assuming Roost and maybe Defog are his last two moves. Now, I could reveal the taunt here and really put a lot of pressure on him, but I do think my play is actually just to either Roost or Poison Fang here. Now, he did go for Foul Play there, so I have a couple different options. I don't want to get poisoned yet with Vaporeon. I could go into Sabretooth here and actually fire off a T-Bolt, predicting the Foul Play, because that's his really only play. He's not going to Toxic. Voice Crack, not bad. And I think I could take a Foul Play pretty good. Just debating on whether I want to take that damage in the first place on Raikou, to be perfectly honest. Foul Play does about 30% to Raikou, so it's actually a little bit more than I want. This is a battle that I win, so I Poison Fang again here, actually. Let's see what he's going to do. I could be tipping my hand here if I go for the taunt, but this Mana Buzz is going to be in a lot of trouble pretty soon if I taunt him after another turn. So I'll see if he's going to predict the switch and go for Toxic. I could always U-turn out as well. Eventually he's going to Roost, and that's the turn I want to get, because then I want to bring in Raikou for free. I don't want to make any dumb plays and have Raikou take 30% for no reason. I am running 0 IVs on Raikou's attack to minimize Foul Play damage, because I did expect him to bring Foul Play Mana Buzz, but it still does a decent amount, because Raikou's got base 85 attack, so it's actually pretty decent. Surprisingly, it gets moves like Iron Head and stuff. Extreme Speed Raikou. That does exist, ladies and gentlemen. Extreme Speed Raikou. I haven't run it, but it exists. So someone else out there wants to run it. But that didn't do anything. He is going to switch, so I'm going to get Poison Fang off on something. It might be the Nido. It is the Nido King. So here comes the King. Now I do want to... Here's a tough situation for me to be in. I think my play here is Roost. I don't want to lose Crobat, but I don't think he's Scarfed. Do I think he's Scarfed? What's my switch in right now to King? Conk? Do I want Conk switching in for free? Or just taking a hit? I don't think I do. Like, standard Nido King puts in so much work against Conkeldurr. Well, I could take 2 hits. His play is not Sludge Wave, his play is not Earth Power, his play is Ice Beam. And Conk can take that pretty well and knock off. And then I get rid of an item off of something. So let's go for the U-turn and hope he's not Scarfed. If he's Scarfed, then we know he's Scarfed, and then we just play around it. If I lose Crobat because he's Scarfed, then I lose Crobat. You know what I mean? So let's make a note here that this thing is poison. About 80%, 90%. And the Nido King is at like 95 because it didn't take any damage really from that. Nido King is very scary, very, very scary. I have checks for it, but I need to get them into the match. I actually can kill Nido King with Ice Punch, I believe, to be perfectly honest. He still hasn't seen Brave Bird yet. Ice Punch doesn't knock it out. It has a chance to with a good roll. I don't think so, not at this range. I think I'm gonna be a little short with Ice Punch. I'm going to Vape as well. Well, we're gonna find out. I don't think he's Scarfed. He would have done something else by now. His play is Ice. He is Scarfed, so he does go for the T-Bolt. That is probably gonna knock us out. We live with 3, baby. Whoo, Crobat. Oh, that's why Nido King needs. That's why it needs that that boost with the Life Orb. Edward hanging in there. So now we know he's Scarfed into T-Bolt, which gives me a free switch into a lot of things. That gives me a switch into Hail Miguel. I could fire off a Dark Pulse. His only thing that's coming to a Dark Pulse is Mandibuzz. I could go into Hercules here, which can easily take it and knock off an item from something, which probably is my best play. Knocking off an item from anything on his team would be really, really useful, except for the Nido King. I don't want to knock off the Nido King's item, but I know I could take 2 hits anyway with Hercules, so knockoff's a really good play there. That's why I'm running Bulky Bat right there. 248 HP, 4 Spit F. All that came in clutch right there. Sabretooth also comes in here really, really nicely and freely Volt Switches, and gives me more momentum. I can Extra Sensory too, but I know I could take a T-Bolt. Let me actually just see how much a T-Bolt does really quickly, because I do like going into, whatchamacallit, Raikou here. How much time do I have? 40 seconds? That's fine. Let me take the Life Orb off of him. And if he goes for T-Bolts, I think I can eat it. It does like 10%, so I think that's my play. Let's go into Raikou here. Raikou comes in, I just click T-Bolt myself, I think, is what I do. Because even Hariyama doesn't want to take it, I don't think. Hariyama with Assault Vest, how much is it going to take from a T-Bolt? About 30% actually, so maybe that's not my play. Maybe my play is Conk. No, let's go to Sabretooth. Let's go to Sabretooth. I'll click T-Bolt. Or you know what? I can click Extra Sensory if he wants to go to Hariyama. I can click Extra Sensory because Rotom's not coming in. T-Bolt's gonna do work either way. Extra Sensory kills Hariyama. You know, with T-Bolt and then Extra Sensory, I think I knock out Hariyama. It doesn't actually do that much more. I think I just click Extra Sensory here. Let's do it. Let's click Extra Sensory. If he goes into Hariyama, perfect. I'll do about 30 to 37% or so, depending on his spread. And if he stays in, well, King is in trouble. So that worked out really well, hopefully. I'm glad Crobat lived that hit. That was really epic. That was really, really epic. Assuming I didn't mess anything up with my calcs here. I should have. Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm just like checking to make sure why I got outsped, but I have enough speed on Crobat. So Extra Sensory is my play. If he goes in, he's not going to Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz doesn't want to come in here because Mandibuzz does not want to take two Thunderbolts. He doesn't want to play that guessing game. Now I know his king is scarf, so I can play around that. We're gonna have a little bit of a prediction game later on, but I do have Crobat as fodder if I need it. I could also bring it in at some point and roost up, particularly on the Mana Buzz or something, and get like a U-turn off on a switch or something, get Crobat in. I outspeed everything aside from the Nidoking. And Crobat already did one of its primary jobs, which was to poison the Mana Buzz. So while I did it in kind of a weird way, still worked out. So let's see what he's gonna do here. I think his play is Hariyama, truthfully. Rotom doesn't want to come in and take 2 T-Bolts. And like seriously, Rotom's not gonna want to come in anyway. Rotom's a bulky Pokemon, but it doesn't do anything back. He goes into Hariyama, so the play was right. Actually, we're in range where 2 extra sensories should knock him out. I kind of want to watch this HP bar really closely here. It might be a roll, but depending on his spread, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that does knock him out. I actually think I can T-Bolt here if I want to. I see no reason for him to stay in. Extra sensory is 80, so it does 160. Thunderbolt is 90 plus stab, so it does 135, I think. I do think Thunderbolt will knock him out from this range. A little bit risky for me to go to extra sensory here, or to go for Thunderbolt here, but I do think that's my play. So I'm gonna go for it. If he lives the hit, then that's just a terrible play on my part. But I do think this will knock him out. It should do 26 to 30.5%, and I believe he is he's about just over 20-ish percent, 26, 27. I think we're gonna kill him. I hope. My fingers are crossed. If not, I think he clicks knockoff anyway. This would be a really bad play if I mispredict here, but I think he might go to Mana Buzz, which would be kind of weird, but we'll see what happens. I'm modest. He's gonna go for the fake out, so he does show the fake out, which I hadn't seen prior. So at least we see the fake out. He might do some switching here with this thing, but at least I see the fake out. I have a feeling he knows I have extra sensory, so he just dies here. That extra sensory did a lot. I do think Thunderbolt will knock him out based on how much the extra sensory did. So that's my play. I'm going for Thunderbolt. If he switches, perfect. He's not going into Nido because my extra sensory is very obvious. So his only play, he could go to Rotom, he could go to Mana Buzz. Not going to Alakazam, that would be really weird. But we should be able to get rid of Hariyama, which is nice because that breaks down one of his special walls. I'm assuming the Mana Buzz is the physical wall. Maybe Rotom. Rotom might actually be offensive. He hasn't shown it yet. I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't shown the Rotom yet. I have to be very careful with it because I don't want to take status on Gross, so I need to kind of be aware of that. Rotom does counter Metagross really well, and I think that's probably what he's expecting, but I do have Zen Headbutt, so once I kind of clear this this Hariyama out of the way, once I get rid of the Mana Buzz, then I click Zen Headbutt and just put in so much work. Bullet Punch handles Alakazam, Bullet Punch is going to handle Altaria once it Mega Evolves, and the Rotom is not going to like Zen Headbutts. I probably would just play Zen Headbutt for the switch. I wouldn't stay in on the Rotom, but we'll see what he's going to do here. He's taking a lot of time. I would think you just sack Hariyama here, unless he wants to save that fake out for later, which I guess I can see. I can definitely see him wanting to save the fake out for later. But it's not like I have a frail team, so that's why I'm a little confused. And I'm surprised he just showed the fake out now. He's gonna stay in. I'm hoping this Thunderbolt does kill. Based on the extra sensory damage, I'm feeling pretty good about it, and it does knock him out. So Raiku's gonna pick up the first kill of the match. Almost halfway through it already. So let me make a note here. Raikou kills Hariyama with Thunderbolts. So that prediction on the extra sensory was the good play. I mean, it would have hit the Nidoking anyway, so it wasn't like a crazy prediction, but I did expect the Hariyama to come out. So that's one less issue that I have to worry about. Mana Buzz is on a timer, even though it has Roost, it's on a timer, so you can't stall me out with Mana Buzz now that he's toxic. Altaria cannot come in right now. Nidoking can come in, but I can take an Earth Power from this range, and I can extra sensory. So I don't think I would do that. Now that I know he's Scarfed, it's actually less scary that he's Scarfed, in all honesty. I could be really cheeky and go to Crobat if he Earth Powers. Oh my god. Now that he's not Scarfed, Conkeldurr handles Nidoking very well, and I can fire off free knockoffs on any switch. Getting rid of the lefties on the Mana Buzz, potential lefties or Scarf on Rotom, maybe a Specs. He might try to trick a Specs. And, you know, Altaria doesn't want to take the hit anyway, and I can you know, stand in front of that thing and probably put in some work, so. But I said in the pregame show that Raikou was very important in this match. I felt like it had a good matchup from a momentum perspective, and I still stand by that thought. His play here is to go to Nidoking and try to force me out, but again, I'm AV, I know I can take an Earth Power, so unless he crits. Let me just check that real quick. So Nidoking, since we have some time here, Nido King, take off his Life Orb, which is the big thing here. And Earth Power does like 50%, like I said. So here comes the King. So I know I can take the hit. I know I can take the hit. I think he's going to overpredict here. I don't think he's going to Earth Power. I really don't. I really don't think he's going to Earth Power here. But Raikou is very important for me because of Rotom and Mandibuzz. It handles both of them. Conkeldurr is my play here. And as much as I would love to make the prediction, I want to make this prediction so badly and stay in an extra sensory. It's too risky. It's too risky. Again, this thing has so much use on this team right now, this Sabertooth. So I think, and it can take a hit from Alakazam too. I have to go into Conk. I have to. And that pains me because I want to make this play, but I have to go into Conk. And Conk is taking from a Sheer Force, let's say he's Modest, Max Special Attack. I'm taking max 40% from a Sludge Wave. So assuming no poison, we're good. Now that's always risky, but Vaporeon's not a bad play either here, actually. Let me kind of Calc Vape coming in to take a hit, because I do have Wish and Protect. Nido. Let me just type Nido King properly here. And let me get rid of his Life Orb. Anything other than T-Bolt, it's kind of the same situation, but I have lefties. Let's go to Vaporeon. I think I can Scald something and try to get a burn. Let's go to Vaporeon. I think that's my better play here. I think Conk is good for a little bit later in the matchup. I think Conk is really good, especially for Rotom. So let's go to Vape. I probably should have stayed with Raikou, but we'll see what he's going to do here. He's going to go for the Sludge Wave, so pretty standard play here. Kind of see what he's going to do. Eat that up pretty good. We get our lefties back, and that's why Vaporeon's so good. That did about 35%, 40-ish%. I could freely Scald here. And I know the Rotom's probably coming in all honesty, but I think my play is to Scald. If I get a burn on something that's really useful, if he goes into Mandibuzz, it can't really do too much to me. I can, talk to Psalm, so I do think Scald's my play. A double out here makes a lot of sense, actually. A double into Raikou, or a double into Metagross. Metagross is a great double here, actually. Well, no, because I don't want to take anything from Rotom. Rotom or Mandibuzz are switch-ins here. So I think Mandibuzz is a switch-in. I think he's been saving this Rotom for a while. So let's double into Sabertooth here. Let's do that. Let's double into Sabertooth. I don't think he's staying in. He doesn't want to take a Scald. He loses Nido King. And if I mispredict here, then I mispredict. I still have Conk for Rotom. So gotta make a play, gotta be real. He's gonna switch, so I'm predicting the switch into either Mandibuzz or Rotom. There's the Rotom, so not surprising. We finally see the Rotom come out. Again, I'm not worried about it as much because I have Raikou, and I'm pretty free here to T-Bolt. He can't go into King. He could go into King, but it's not really a very positive situation for him. Rotom Wash. How much are you taking from this T-Bolt, buddy? Taking about 55%, so this is a 2 KO. Extra Sensory is not gonna do too much, so let's go for that T-Bolt, baby, and see what he's got. See if this Rotom's packing. I know I can take any hit from him. A burn's not going to do anything to me. And if he's going to trick me something, like a Specs, I don't care about that. So, in fact, if he tricks me a Specs, oh baby, that would be insane. He might be Scarfed and try to Volt Switch into King. Then he might try to Predict and Thunderbolts. I think the next time King comes in, I'm making that play, and I'm staying in with Raikou on King next time. I'm going to make a play with that. I really think I could put the pressure on him. I do have to be a little weary of the Alakazam, but I outspeed it with Hydreigon. I am Scarf Hydreigon. So that's always that. I could Dark Pulse. Actually, once Mandibuzz is going, Hydreigon's able to put in a decent amount of work with Dark Pulse. Because Hariyama already took some damage, and Altaria is not Mega Evolved yet, so he can't really do much with that. I want to see what kind of Rotom this is. That's why I'm just going to Thunderbolt here. He stays in, so we're going to find out what kind of set he is real quick. That does about half. He's going to go for the Pain Split here, so good play on his part. He's going to get a little bit of health back here, but this is a battle I win, so not a huge deal. He could go into King, which I'm a little bit worried about. Extra Sensory would be a real play if he went into King. Rotom can't do too much to me, so I do think Extra Sensory is my play. It'll lessen my Pain Split damage as well, so let's go for Extra Sensory in case he switches. Extra Sensory plus T-Bolt might do enough to knock him out. I saw Pain Split on the Rotom, so he's like a defensive set. That's fine. At least I know he's not Scarf Rotom. So he's actually less scary now, I think. Although Pain Split's still annoying, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I had Draco on Hydreigon. I'm not carrying Draco Meteor this week. A little bit weird. Decided to carry Fire Blast for Scavalier instead. Poor decision. Draco would be nice. I would actually just destroy his team if I had Draco Meteor right now. But I don't. So we're gonna go for that the extra sensor here, predicting the Nidoking switch. Because extra sensor doesn't do anything to Rotom, so it would really make sense for him to make the swap. But if he wants to stay in here, he's not gonna do much to me. I know I can take a Hydro Pump, and the extra sensor damage plus the Thunderbolt might be enough to knock out Rotom anyway. He is going to stay in here, so he might go for a Willow, he might go for a lot of things. I want to see if I can knock him down below that half mark. We do. He does go for the Hydro Pump, he hits it as well. I should be able to eat this up pretty much and still live with about, 40%, 30%. Okay, cool. So we're in pretty good shape here. He's actually Life Orb Rotom, which for some reason I didn't notice before. And now I'm in a tough spot because I think the extra sensory will kill him from here. It's very close. It is very, very close. But I think plus Life Orb, he definitely goes down. So do I take that chance and take this extra damage here? Or do I just T-Bolt and play safe? Well, worst case scenario, well, the extra sensory is nice because it hits the Nidoking. I can revenge kill the Rotom anyway with a lot of things. I could revenge kill and U-turn with Hydreigon. So that's not an issue. So I think he's gonna die to Life Orb anyway, and if he can't Pain Split, so let's extra sensory in case he switches. He can't go into Mandibuzz. That'd be he could go into Mandibuzz, but if I T-Bolt here, it's a little bit of a mind game. So I do think he's gonna probably just let Rotom go down here and try to get damage off of me. That's a tough play for him. If I was him, what would I do? If I was him, I think I go to King, to be perfectly honest, which is why I clicked extra sensory. If I was him, I go to Nidoking. Or Mandibuzz doesn't do anything. So Mandibuzz actually isn't a bad play here either. I just showed extra sensory predicting the Nidoking. Would I do it again? I don't know. Extra sensory is close to knocking him out. I have a feeling it's gonna be the Life Orb that knocks him out. And if all goes well, I live with just a sliver of health off the Hydro Pump. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be a damage roll. I would love to keep Raikou alive though. I would love to keep Raikou alive. Not that it really does anything because of that King, but he's gonna stay in here. So let's see if we get a good roll with this extra sensory. It has a chance to knock him out, and it does knock him out. Wow, I'm actually a little bit surprised that worked, but Raikou kills the Rotom Wash. So Raikou kills Rotom Wash with extra sensory, and that's 2 Pokemon down. So he brought a Life Orb, like semi-defensive Rotom. It looks like maybe a little bit of offensive. Life Orb, Pain Split, Hydro Pump. He has to go into King here or Alakazam. At this point, I'm in a situation where I could actually fodder off Raikou if I wanted to. I don't think that's my play. I think my play is actually to save Raikou just because of Mandibuzz. But I may fodder it off to get a free switch into Conk to potentially knock off. That's an idea. Or depending on what move his Nidoking goes for, I might... You know what I could do actually? I think what I can do here. What's his little bird thingy at? If I'm Mega and he goes into Mandibuzz, which I think is physically defensive or like mixed defense, Meteor Mash is actually a 2-hit KO. So with that toxic damage, and I get Foul Play does so much. I could go for Meteor Mash depending on what he goes for with his King. Because if he goes for Earth Power, I just go into Crobat and Roost, or U-turn and get momentum again. I think he's got to go into King. Or go into Altaria and Mega Evolve. But then you're still taking damage. You're taking an HP Ice because I'm going to outspeed. If he Dragon Dances, how scared am I if he Dragon Dances? Let me think. I have Flashing. He's going to go to Alakazam. Alright. So what does Alakazam have anything to do? He's got Shadow Ball for Metagross. That's what he's got for Metagross. He's got Shadow Ball. That's the only thing he can do to me. And I can take 2 of those. So I do think I should save Sabertooth here. Now I could go into Edward. The thing about Edward is it keeps him from... The reason why I want to save Crobat here, it keeps him from going for Earth Power, because then I could just go into that. I think Oxygen is a good play here. It's my least useful member of the team at this point, in my opinion, because I already got rid of 2 of his bigger threats, and I can't burn the Mandibuzz. I wouldn't beat the Mandibuzz anyway, and Nido... do I think this is a good play? I want to save this Sabertooth because... No, I don't think I save it. I think I just let it die. I think I just go for Thunderbolt. Let it die. Or Volt Switch, actually. Yeah, let's go for Volt Switch. Maybe I can live a hit. I doubt it. Depends on what he goes for. If he like does an over prediction, like a Dazzling Gleam, there's like a very small chance I can live it, I guess. I think we let Raikou go down here. It's kind of tough. I have a couple of different Pokemon that really match up well. It's just a matter of determining what makes the most sense to sack off here. Let's see what he's gonna do here. My play here is once this thing goes down, I just go into Metagross, pretty much. How much does Metagross do to Nido? He's got Shadow Ball. I might live this. I doubt it, but there's always the chance. Oh, Sabertooth, dude, you are a champion, man. You are an absolute champion. That's gonna do over half to this thing, and I had a feeling that was gonna happen. That's why I made that play. Bullet Punch destroys this thing. We go into zDrive, baby. It's time to hit that button. It's time to hit that button. Let's go. He wants to predict, let him predict. I'm going for Bullet Punch. Ooh, wait a minute. Do we just Meteor Mash right now? Are we real? Or is it not worth the damage? Is it not worth the damage on that Mandibuzz? Did we just Meteor Mash here? We're gonna Mega Evolve. Bullet Punch kills Alakazam. Meteor Mash destroys the rest of his team. His play here is to go into Mandibuzz on the Bullet Punch to take the Bullet Punch. I can take a Shadow Ball, no problem. Especially after seeing that. Meteor Mash is the play. If he wants any chance of winning this match, he has to switch here. I'm real. I'm going for Meteor Mash. I'm real. Let's do it. I could easily Bullet Punch and kill Alakazam here, but I feel like he's gonna switch into Mandibuzz. Alakazam is way more important for his team. He needs to take out Conkeldurr. He's probably got Dazzling Gleam. I think he's got to switch. I really do. He showed me Shadow Ball, and I know I can take a Shadow Ball. Even if he's Life Orb, I'd imagine. I could take one. Yeah, I know I could take one. That was a lot, though. If he crit me, though, that would stink. I'm making the play. This is where plays are made right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is where the plays are made. He's got to save Alakazam. He's got to save it. Yeah, he's definitely not Specs, and I don't think he's Life Orb either. I think he was Sash, probably. Just based on that damage. He only did like 30 HP to me. He did nothing to Raikou. Oh, he stayed in, didn't he? He made the play. Yeah, that did nothing. Alright, we'll see what happens here. If I misplay, that misplay. He went for Shadow Ball, so I misplayed. Does about 50%, I think. He crit me, didn't he? Oh, I lived it! He got the crit, though! Oh, my goodness. That almost went horribly wrong. Oh, my God. Wow. Metagross kills Alakazam with Meteor Mash. Oh, my God. I should have Bullet Punched, evidently. That was a terrible play. I thought that was the play. I didn't think he was going to stay in there. Almost cost me. Almost cost me. Alright, so here's the deal. I can just hit this thing with a Bullet Punch, and then I go into the Hydreigon, and I click Flash Cannon. It's not gonna do anything to Mandibuzz though. Do I save zDrive because of Altaria? Because I can Bullet Punch the Mega Altaria later and do a lot, about 80% to that thing, or I could Bullet Punch the Nido and I do 50%. So he can't Earth Power, he can't Sludge Wave, he's got a T-Bolt. He's got a T-Bolt here. So I think Edward has kind of done its job. I think I sacrifice Edward here. There's really no reason for me to stay in. I think I go to Edward. I think Edward's done its job, truthfully. I really do. I think Edward's done his job. That gives me a free opportunity to go into Hercules. I think that's my play. What has Edward done? Or what has Edward... Yeah, I think that's my play. I think I just go to Edward here because there's really Yeah, I think the bullet punch is worth it to me. Let's go to Edward. I think I'm just gonna let him kill me. I'll let him get the kill because having that bullet punch for the Altaria is worth it to me, just in case he Dragon Dances. Shadow Ball. So he shows Shadow Ball on Nidoking. Very interesting. So he had another answer for Metagross, it looks like, in case he couldn't go for Earth Power. So Nido, King kills Crobat with Shadow Ball. Truthfully, I didn't even know this thing got Shadow Ball. I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. I saw Sludge Wave. I saw Shadow Ball. That gives me a free switch and a conk. At this point, I could do a couple different things. I think Ice Punch is my play, though. Ice Punch actually destroys the rest of his team, in all honesty. So let's just click Ice Punch. We just click Ice Punch a couple times. His last 3 Pokemon are all weak to Ice Punch. Obviously, Altaria can come in, at which point I'm a little scared, but I think I just let him kill me if Altaria comes in for free. Just so I don't let him set up. So I think we just Ice Punch here. Because I outspeed Altaria with Hydreigon, I could Flash Cannon. And as long as I get that Flash Cannon damage off, if he's +1, Bullet Punch kills. So saving that Metagross is actually the 1,000,000% right play before. 1,000,000% right play. 1,000,000%. So Ice Punch is my play. It hits everything super effective on his team at this point, as I mentioned. And I think I could probably take 1 hit from Altaria, right? If he's special. If he goes for return, I probably can't, but. Mega Altaria, Adamant Nature, return destroys me. So actually, if he were to go into Altaria after a kill here, he does destroy me. But Shadow Ball is not going to do anything to conk. Mandibuzz does not want to take this hit. It does not want to take it. And if he roosts, I Drain Punch. So there's that. He can't roost on me. And Foul Play does nothing. It does 30%. Toxic boosts my attack. So Mandibuzz is in a bit of a situation. He's going to switch out. He thinks this Nidoking is his key here. If he goes to Altaria, I'm going to laugh. He's going to go to Mandibuzz, so he's going to take a big hit here from this Ice Punch. It's going to do about 30 to 40%. Not going to be crazy, but it's going to do enough that I feel comfortable doing this. So now what I can actually do is a couple different things. I'm going to knock off here. I want to get rid of his leftovers to kind of mess with his residual damage here. And if he wants to go for a Foul Play, that's fine. I can get rid of his item here. I think he's going to go for Roost, though, just to be able to take an Ice Punch better. But I think getting rid of this item is nice, and if I get rid of his Nidoking's item as well, that allows Raikou to outspeed again, so I'm not as worried if I get rid of his item. He can switch up moves, but Raikou will outspeed, so there's always that. And Metagross will outspeed the Nidoking, too, so a couple different options there. I could have tried to get rid of that item on Nidoking earlier, but let's get rid of those leftovers. That Toxic from that Poison Fang was actually really, really good. Really, really good. I think that's going to be something that people are going to, like, not remember, but I think that was, like, a really cool thing. I think that Poison Fang was good. It helped a lot with this Mandibuzz so far. Not out of the woods yet, but I know he's got Toxic, Foul Play, probably Roost, and Defog, I would guess. Since he didn't have hazards of his own, so he might try to get rid of them. Because hazards actually hurt his team quite a bit. I know he's got the Alakazam, but he's going to go for the Foul Play. So pretty much as I expected that he had the Foul Play. Should be about 30%. Eat that up, no problem. Now I go for the knockoff, and this forces him to Roost, actually. It gets rid of his lefties, and it forces him to Roost. I get a crit there. It's pretty relevant. He has to Roost to live. If I Drain Punch here, though, I think it's going to do enough that I get all my health back anyway, so I'm just going to Drain Punch. And he can't really switch because Ice Punch is my normal play here. He can't go into Nido, and Nido can't kill me anyway. He needs that Altaria in for free, but I'm not letting him set up. I'll let him take me down if I have to. Because I do still have Vaporeon. I have Hydreigon as well, which can come in on Nidoking and put some work in. Dark Pulse plus Bullet Punch should knock him out anyway. Kind of just saving Hydreigon in the back until it's time. And actually, Mandibuzz is getting to that point now, too, where Flash Cannon damage is going to do enough that I could probably hurt him a little bit. The Utility Buzzard. Yeah, Flash Cannon does like 20%, so it'd actually knock him out from here. I think Roost is his play. I could actually double into into Raikou, but we'll see what he's gonna do. He's actually gonna go for foul play, so he's gonna just let me knock him out here. I'm gonna get that drain punch boost. He does not crit me there, looks like. Okay, cool. So I get a drain punch boost here. So that's really good, and it does knock him out. Perfect. I'm gonna get a little bit of health back here. Enough health back that he can't go into Nidoking now. He has to go into Altaria, and he has to Dragon Dance basically to have a chance here. Now, I would be a little scared if he has Cotton Guard. That would be real. He's Cotton Guard, Dragon Dance. I might be in trouble, and by that I mean a lot of trouble. But Conkeldurr kills Mandibuzz with Drain Punch. And that puts him in a situation where he's got to go to Altaria. I'm going to click Ice Punch, and it's going to do a good amount to Altaria. If he's Special Altaria, I do think the Hyper Voice will probably knock me out. If he's offensive, like Physical Dragon Dance, what does my Ice Punch do? It does about 60 to 70%. I have that Bullet Punch in the back as well. I have to let Conk... I have to have Conk put in the work here, because I can't afford to let this Altaria set up on me. So I need to just click Ice Punch here. That way Metagross can come in and Bullet Punch, and I Bullet Punch the Nidoking, and then I bring in Hydreigon and I'm good. If he kills me straight up, then I go into Metagross and I Meteor Mash and kill him. So those are some options there. But my play here is Ice Punch. No reason for me to switch out here. I can't let him set up with Altaria. I can't let him set up. So he can take one. He can take one Dragon Dance and try to do something with that, but I have to just let him kill me here if that's what he wants to do. My coaster falls. And if he chooses not to Mega Evolve, then he dies. So there's that too. He is gonna Mega Evolve, not surprising. I hope he goes for the Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance would seal the win for me, I think. If he goes for Return, he'll knock me out. Hyper Voice will probably knock me out. He goes for the Return, that is definitely gonna knock me out. I don't have enough bulk to come close to taking that. So Altaria kills Conkeldurr with Return. Metagross wins with Meteor Mash here. Yeah, I think Meteor Mash kills here against Altaria, I'd imagine. I don't see why it wouldn't. It does. So I think that's my play. Just go to this thing and Meteor Mash. Yeah, I think that's the play. Or do I Bullet Punch for the safety here? No, I mean, let me think about this, because we have a 90% chance of hitting the Meteor Mash. If I were to miss, I'd be really, really upset, because then he knocks me out, and then what do? I go into Sabertooth, I HP Ice, I go into Miguel. We're in a little bit of trouble if that happens. How much does Ice Beam do from Vaporeon? I know this is like a pretty obvious play here, but I don't want to chance anything. I think, actually, my play to go for Bullet Punch, then go into Hydreigon. I think my play is Meteor Mash. Let's do it. We gotta hit this. We gotta hit this Meteor Mash. That's what it comes down to. Hit the Meteor Mash, zDrive. Come on. Bullet Punch is not enough to kill. It's just a little shy. It does 68 to 80. Meteor Mash does plenty. Wish I had Iron Head, but we Meteor Mash, and we fingers crossed here that we don't miss. Come on, zDrive. We've done it all season, baby. Let's go. Pick up this kill. Come on, zDrive. Let's go. Man. You got a crit earlier, which almost cost me zDrive. He's probably got EQ on this thing. EQ Return. We've seen a bunch of moves on the Nido. We saw T-Bolt on Nidoking, and I'm sure Earth Power as well. So he actually has nothing on Nidoking to hit Hydreigon, which is nice, it looks like. He's got Ice Beam instead of Earth Power. We connect. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, zDrive. Let's go, baby. Let's go. A little worried about that one. Metagross kills Altaria with, what was it? Whatever that was called. Meteor Mash. So 2 kills right there so far for Metagross, and we Bullet Punch the Nidoking, and then Hydreigon outspeeds, and I think we got this game in the bag, baby. So I could do some switching and stuff to try to make the differential better. I mean, I really could. It probably doesn't make any sense. I don't want to be a jerk about it. Let's just win this match. Let's click Bullet Punch here. Obviously, Scarf. I need a crit to kill him here, but it's going to do enough damage so that way Dark Pulse easily knocks him out with Hydreigon. I will outspeed without any issues. And he basically has to he can't lock himself in a Sludge Wave. So he's got to lock himself into like Shadow Ball or something, and Hydreigon is totally fine with that. Again, I could have switched to save Metagross, and I could have easily switched to save Metagross and go into Hydreigon, but at this point in the match, you know, I just kind of want to win and just call it a day. I could have probably won a 4-0, but I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just want to win. This has already been a 50+ minute match, and the Mets are playing in the playoffs right now, so I definitely want to go watch the Mets. So that does about 50%. He goes for T-Bolt, so I see the T-Bolt. That's totally fine. zDrive goes down, not a big deal. So Nido King kills Metagross with Thunderbolts, and I think we're in good shape here. We just go to Hail Miguel here. Our Hydreigon hasn't gotten a lot of work lately, but it's gonna get some work right here. Nice Stealth Rock free matchup. I click Dark Pulse, and I think we're good. Hopefully he picks his move pretty quickly. And there's the Dark Pulse, so Hydreigon kills Nido King with a Dark Pulse, and that's gonna be the game. I believe we win 3-0. And that's gonna be it, man. So the St. Louis Rampardos moved to, I believe, 12-1, right? Yeah, 12-1, and we're able to continue to be in first place of the UCL, so I'm pretty hyped about that. Hope you guys did enjoy this match. Really good played by Twit. He played really well, and hopefully you guys go check out his channel and leave a like rating. Don't forget that the St. Louis Rampardos shirts are available, still limited edition if you want to pick one out. Link in the description. Don't forget to go check those out before the limited edition shirts are gone. And I want to thank you guys all for your support. You guys have been absolutely wonderful this whole season, so thank you guys. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive. I'm going to get the heck out of here. I will catch you guys later. Peace.